It's Tuesday, September the 10th, 2024, and in today's video, I'm going to give you two MLB winners and one WNBA winner. Let's get into it today. This is the Free Three. What's up, guys? Your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we're just trying to get to the bag together and make some money. Yesterday, not the day that we really wanted, but it's been a good opening weekend to the NFL, so you can't be too mad at it. But yesterday, 1 and 2 on the day. We cashed in on Jake Moody's field goals, no sweat bet there. That cashed in the first quarter. But we obviously lose on the Jets teaser. Everybody named Mama was on the Jets yesterday. And then, Vegas made the call. No Christian McCaffrey. Vegas still made the call. And the under, that was just, tough. Especially in that last touchdown on the game with Alan Lazard. If you just had that under outright, that would have been tough. And then Brock Purdy throwing an interception. They were running the ball all over them boys. So nothing we could do about that. So 1 and 2 on the day. Not too bad start to the month of September. You can see our year-to-date record right here. And today we got baseball on a Tuesday. So let's bounce back. And then we'll be back with football a little bit later on this week. But for the meantime, we'll hang out with some baseball and some WNBA winners. So let's get into it for today. Appreciate all the love and support. If you have not smashed that subscribe button, please do so now. Let's get it. All right, for my first best bet of the day, we are going to go to the MLB slate real quickly. And the first best bet that I'm going to look at is going to be in between the Royals and the Yankees matchup here. And I'm going to take a look at the Royals. I'm going to isolate this to their team total. And I'm going to take the Royals team total over 3.5 runs, minus 135 odds. So yes, I know it's a little bit juice, but typically we get 4.5 runs, not 3.5. If your book does have it at 4.5 at plus money, you can sprinkle a little bit on it, as I do like that as well. Or you can might as well just take the Royals outright on the money line at like plus cheeky. I do like that as well. I think the Royals win this game outright. The Yankees are sending Marcus Stroman to the mound, and this is just a fade on Marcus Stroman. This is why I'm taking the team total, and I'm not really going to play around with the sides. Obviously, we know who the Yankees have on the offensive side of the ball. The Royals are sending Seth Lugo to the mound. I do like him. That's why I do think the Royals will win this game. But Marcus Stroman has struggled this year, okay? His first year with the Pinstripes has not been as good as you would expect it to be. 10-7 on the year is not too bad of a record, but it's the 4.03 ERA that really jumps out to you. In his last start against the Rangers, he gave up 5 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings, and his start before that against the Cardinals, 2 earned runs given up, and then his start before that against the Rockies, 3 earned runs given up. So Stroman, you really never know what type of form you're going to get from him, and because now they're facing a Royals team that has a lot to play for right now, they're in a very competitive AL Central race where now they find themselves second in the wild card. Minnesota Twins right behind them, about 2.5, 3 games back behind them, and then obviously the Red Sox are right there. The Tigers are still contention. Every game matters. This Royals offense has cooled down a little bit over the past month or so. We saw them drop 4 runs yesterday in a 10-4 loss to the Yankees, so they would have went out over this total. But if you look at their last series against the Twins, they swept that series, but they won those games 2-0, 4-2, 5-0. So yes, they would have gone over this total in 2 of those 3 games, but again, this is kind of a little bit of a lower total than you usually see from a team total side. And then also, this is a Royals offense that a few months ago, was absolutely crushing right-handed pitching. Bobby Witt Jr. was smacking the ball left and right. Salvador Perez was still playing at a very high level, but this offense has cooled down a little bit, and that's why I think that we're getting value here today. Marcus Stroman's just not a guy that I can trust, and when you look at his home road splits, 4.86 ERA at home compared to 3.09 ERA on the road. So he's actually struggled more at home than he has on the road, and this game is at Yankee Stadium, which we know is more of a hitter-friendly ballpark. The ball carries there. They have those short porch outfield, so that leads to more home runs, and this is a Royals team that can definitely be able to score some runs. They're top 15 in the major leagues over the last 30 days in terms of runs scored per game, and they're top 20 in batting average. So it's not like the best numbers, but overall it's still not too bad. This team total is just a little bit too low for Marcus Stroman, who's been not in the best of form. Give me the Royals here. I don't know if they're going to win the game, even though I do lean that way, but I'm going to isolate it to the team total as our first pick of the day. Now, for our second best bet inside the major leagues, we're going to go to 2 pitchers who've been really profitable over the last, speaking about 30 days or now, really all year, and that's going to be the Mets, who are sending David Peterson to the mound, Toronto Blue Jays, who are sending Chris Bassett to the mound. And because both of these pitchers have been really strong, we're just going to isolate this to the first 5. We're going to take the under here, 4.5 runs, another minus 135. So yes, I know we're laying a little bit of juice here, but it is that time of year of baseball where we're just going to have to pay for some of these picks in the sense of laying juice, because I don't want to take the risk of trying to find value. And, teams are just, certain things just happen. Now, I'm not willing to lay minus 300 odds, but minus 135, minus 140, minus 150, I'm willing to do it if the spot spot makes sense. Now, David Peterson has probably been the most profitable pitcher in all of baseball this year. He's 9-1 on the year with a 2.75 ERA. He's been absolutely stellar. The Mets have actually won the last 6 games in a row that he started on the money line, so you may want to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I'm not opposed to that, but his last start against the Red Sox, 6 innings, 6 hits, only 1 earned run given up to go with 11 strikeouts. That's a season high 11 strikeouts, which is pretty impressive. And his start before that on the road at the Diamondbacks, 7 innings, 2 earned runs given up. 1 was a mistake pitch home run. His start before that against the Padres, also on the road, another 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run given up. Can't beat that. So if you want to sprinkle a little bit on David Peterson's pitching outs, I'm not opposed to it. If it's at 17.5, I really like that. But I think both of these pitchers are going to go under right now. Both of these offenses have cooled down a little bit, especially the Mets. They were really hot like about a month or 2 ago, but right now against right-handed pitching, that offense has kind of slowed down a little bit. The Jays have been swinging the bat really well, actually top 5 in batting average against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. But I also like the fact that David Peterson's on the mound for the Mets, so that kind of offsets that a little bit. Chris Bassett has had his struggles this season at times, 4.3 ERA, and he's coming off a rough start against the Phillies where he gave up 10 hits and 3 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings. But we've also seen other times like against the Red Sox where he's gone 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, given up and 9 strikeouts. He literally did that on the road 2 weeks ago. So you never know what type of form that you're going to get from him. But because this Mets offense has cooled down a little bit, it's really like Lindor and company right now. Like if it really wasn't for Lindor and Alonso here and there, that Mets offense would be like completely dismal. Like, I mean, they're not swinging the bat at all good. Vientos had a really good day the other day, but besides that, a lot of that offense has disappeared. We saw it yesterday, a 3-2 finish where 5 of those runs were literally scored in like the last 3 innings. So that's why I'm isolating this to the first 5. I do lean the under 8.5, under 8 if you want to take that as well for the full game. But I really want to stay away from both of these bullpens, as both of these bullpens are actually a little bit more susceptible. One of the higher bullpens in the league in terms of ERA. So because of that, I'm just going to isolate this to the starters. Give me the first 5 under between the Mets and the Blue Jays as our second pick of the day. For our third and final best bet of the day, we're going to go to the WNBA. There's a few games on in the W today, and I'm going to isolate it to the team that we've been taking consistently on the channel. You guys know who I'm going with. If it's not the Mercury, then you know who it is. That's right, the Minnesota Lynx. We're going to take them against the Atlanta Dream today, -4.5, -110 odds. So we're going to get this at standard value here. And I think we're actually getting a little bit of value on the Lynx here as the line's actually moved reverse against them. On some books, it's actually at the -4.5 now. It might be at -5 on your book, but it opened up at 6.5 in favor of the Lynx, and now this number's been bet down, and I just have to disagree with the line move. Why? Because the Atlanta Dream have been good over late. I mean, they've covered the spread in 3 of their last 5 games. We saw them cover against the Indiana Fever in their last game, even though they did lose that game outright. They covered against the Sparks. So yeah, like this Atlanta Dream team has been hot, and they've been playing good basketball, but that's also because they have a lot to play for right now. They're the 9th seed in the WNBA playoffs, and then keep in mind only the top 8 seeds get in. So they're a game behind the Chicago Sky. Chicago Sky are 13-22 on the year. Meanwhile, the Dream are 12-23. So they really need to get hot for them to make a comeback. But the Minnesota Lynx, okay, they're the number 2 seed right now. They're 3 games behind the New York Liberty, and they're on the outside looking in of getting that number 1 seed. Over the last 10 games, the Minnesota Lynx are 9-1. Yes, that's right, 9-1 record straight up over the last 10 games. I can pay dividend because Liberty have dropped a game or 2 here and there, and the Lynx could find themselves actually finding a chance to get into that number 1 seed if things all work out in their favor. But one of the reasons why I really like the Lynx here is because they're the number 1 covering team in the WNBA. I mean, they cover their number. 22-14 on the year against the spread. And when they're on the road, they're 12-6 against the number as well. So that's what I really love. And they're on the road in this matchup. The Dream, meanwhile, are 19-15-1 against the spread, 7-9-1 at home against the spread. But they've been covering a little bit more of late, but still not really that big of a fan. The Lynx are the much better team here, the much better lineup. Even though they didn't cover in their last game against the Mystics, they did hook on the 7-point spread, but they covered the game before that against the Fever. I had given out that pick here on the channel. And then before that, they had covered against the Phoenix Mercury a few games before that. I know they didn't cover against the Sky or they didn't cover against the Dallas Wings, but both of those were really big spreads. So I kind of understand that. Now we're getting this small spread around 4.5. If it can go down even more, I'd be happier. But I'm going to take the Lynx here, -4.5, as the much better WNBA team here. A lot to still play for them as well when it comes down to seeding. So even though the Dream are a little bit more in like a desperation mode because they need to get into the playoffs and win this game to do that, I think the Lynx also have a lot to play for here as well. Give me the Lynx -4.5 as our third and final pick of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets on the way on this Tuesday card. Real short and sweet, real quick and simple. We're going to go in the MLB Royals team total over 3.5 runs. And then we're also going to take the first 5 under between the Mets and the Blue Jays. And then in the WNBA, we're going to go with the Minnesota Lynx -4.5, as I expect them to cover the spread. If you want to wait for that game live, I do think you'll be able to get a better number live, as I think the Dream will keep the game close for a little bit. But like what we saw with the Lynx and the Fever, they pulled away eventually in the end. That's what I'm expecting from that game as well. For more picks and plays I'm going to be dropping throughout the day, there are several nerfies that I really like on the board as well. Make sure you click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I'm going to give you that one to you guys. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar. Let's get to that money. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, again.